Hello dancers, thank you for joining me for today's practice. This is going to be perfect for you if you want to tap into some sensual Shakti energy today. And Shakti is that divine feminine energy. So this is going to be all about the flow, the fluidity, not just going through the motions of holding a pose, but really breathing life into it, dancing through the poses. So if you are a dancer like me and you love to bring that creative, expressive, flowing movement into everything you do, you are going to love this. Personally, this is what a practice that would look like if I was just on my own flowing around. And that's how I came up with this class, because for me, I'm rarely ever holding a stretch static. My exploration of movement definitely has this sense of like, where can I explore the shape by adding a little bit of movement? Where can I tap into the energy that I'm cultivating? This, returning to my center, returning to like my feminine essence as I'm stretching and working my body, as I'm working with my active range of motion and increasing my mobility. That's really what this class is, to give you that balance of active flexibility training, but also to dance it and also have that energetic rebalancing of tuning into your body, connecting with Mother Earth, connecting with your own feminine Shakti energy, and it's just going to be a full body, feel good class. So if you need some yoga blocks, maybe have those nearby, grab your water, and you know what, take a second to set your space up to feel like that goddess temple space. So maybe that's going to be lighting some sage or a candle, or just cleaning up your space, whatever creating a temple environment feels like for you. I would encourage you to do that just to make it extra juicy. But when you're ready, join me on the mat. All right, so join me at the back of your mat. We're going to place one hand at the front of your belly and one hand at your low back here. We're going to begin with some 360 core breathing. So go ahead and plant your feet nice and firm, nice and balanced, toes spread. I want you to start with feeling that there's this anchoring, this rooting through the pelvis, dropping down through the legs, through the soles of the feet into the floor. Feeling that your pelvis is neutral with your hands that are in the front and back of your lower belly, making sure we're not tipping forward and we're not tucking under, but finding that nice neutral place. I've got a tiny bend of the knees. And I'm going to breathe into my hands, sending my breath down into my lower rib cage, into my belly, and into my low back. Seeing if I can breathe into my hands. Can my hands feel that subtle movement of the breath? From the belly, there's this sense of uplift through the spine, through the top of the head. Finding that nice balance between that grounded anchor and that gentle float through the body. So your body is this channel that connects you between the cosmos and the ether and the earth and the ground. Allowing your eyes to close, jaw to soften. Breathing into your hands. Feeling that movement of the breath into the front and back of the body, bringing your awareness into your body, into this present moment. Your belly and ribcage expand as you inhale, and gently contract as you exhale. Do 4 more breaths, breathing in and out through the nose. Last breath, inhale fully. Exhale with a sigh. Beautiful, releasing the hands. Tapping in just a little gooey juiciness here, feeling that your feet are anchored, plugged into the floor, and the rest of your body can find this kind of swirl through the hips and rippling out through the fingers. Tapping into that sensual but grounded nature. Beautiful, bringing the hands back. I'm lightly squeezing my arms like I'm squeezing lemons in my armpits. I'm gonna mount the hips down, coming into a chair pose. So I'm taking a nice flat back here. Normally I'd be more up. I want you to come to a flat back here. Really pulling my core in, and I'm not letting my rib cage flare. I'm drawing that in, feeling that length in my spine. And with my feet, I'm imagining that I can pull my yoga mat apart with this outward tension to really fire up my booty here. So I'm gonna sink my weight a little bit more back into my heels rather than my toes. And I'm going to start to flow the arms back and forth, feeling that activation through the back body. So I'm squeezing back, I'm squeezing those lemons, squeezing and activating my lats and serratus. Inhale forward, keeping the shoulders away from the ears, long neck. Flow the arms back. Feeling that strength and stability through the body, and also that sense of flow and lightness through the arms. Do 2 more. And mount down to a forward fold. Grabbing onto opposite elbow, find a little sway here. Release the back of your neck. I'm gonna walk it out through each foot, each leg. And rolling up to standing, keeping hold of those elbows to bring the arms up. I'm gonna find a little bit of a juicy rib and hip circle here. It's kind of finding what feels good. Maybe you wanna bend side to side, maybe feels good to really stretch back, open up the heart. Just taking a moment here to explore. Beautiful. Release those hands, stand up nice and tall. Dive down, forward fold. Walk the hands forward and come to a downward dog. Taking a moment to walk out through the legs. And here I'm also being mindful to keep my rib cage in and not flaring it out. Using my core to keep everything nice and neutral. Plugging your fingertips into the floor. Really do this to avoid dumping all your weight into your wrists. You want to feel that from the shoulder, there's energy going down through the fingertips. And then you're gonna lift up onto our toes and come towards a tabletop, but stopping just before your knees hit the ground in a hover here. So I'm really working my core a little bit more, pressing into the floor to stay lifted up and out of the shoulders rather than sagging here. Beautiful. Long spine, neutral rib cage. And we're going to take the knees side to side here. Kind of swinging down, up. Just working my obliques a little bit, working that stability through my arms and shoulders. Building that heat, building that fire. Beautiful. Let's extend the right leg back, coming into a flat line here. So I'm not bringing it up too high that I sag through my low back. Try to keep that knee hovering off the floor, just an inch or two. Pressing back to downward dog. This is the flow we're gonna move through. We're gonna lift up onto that left toe, keep the right leg in the air, rippling into that tabletop balance. Woo. Pushing back and up. Lifting up, rippling through the spine, coming into a flat back. It's almost like we're doing a plank. Gotta keep that leg lifted. Ooh, feeling really strong here. Keep that leg up as you lift, lower down. One more. Back, up, Nice and controlled. Work in that left leg. Beautiful. Let's step that right leg forward. Lunge. As I come up, I'm gonna square off my hips. So I'm drawing the right hip back, left hip forward, and I'm again gonna find that neutral pelvis. So coming out of this place and into this nice and centered place, keeping the hips squared. Bending this back knee a little bit to maintain that. So this is really important with lunges. A lot of times we kind of do this, and to try to get the leg straight, we'll dump into the low back. I want you to prioritize that neutral low back over a straight back leg. Maintain this, and then you can work on getting that leg straight. You're gonna get a much better stretch through your hip flexors here. But bring your hands to the top of your quad. We're gonna snake the spine. So I'm coming into a tuck and round as I'm really bending that back leg. And I'm gonna snake it forward. Coming back to that neutral place. Round, snake and arch. Round, squaring off the hips as I round. Snake and arch. Last one, round. Snake and arch. And melt those hands down. Let's straighten back for a little pyramid pose here, stretching over this right leg. And stepping back, three-legged dog, stretch it up. Before bringing it down. Turn to the left side, coming into that tabletop. Hovering. Getting those hands right underneath the shoulders, really pressing the floor to lift you up. We are working, y'all. Stabilizing through the right leg. Extend through the left. And press up and back. Lifting up on the right toe. Pulling the cord as we ripple through the spine to come down. My voice is shaking. Beautiful. So we're finding this flow and stability. It's pretty full body. Trying to keep the hips squared. I just caught myself opening up, trying to keep everything level. Back and up. Ripple forward. Balance. One more, back and up. Ripple forward. Balance. Back and up before stepping that left leg forward for a lunge. Coming up, squaring off the hips. Neutral pelvis. Then work towards getting that back leg straight. Hands to the quad. We're going to really tuck and round, just keeping those hips squared. And arch it through. And snake, inhale. Squaring off those hips. And last one. Arch. Hands down, legs straight, melt forward. Relax the back of the neck. Let's walk the hands to the center, turning out through both legs, taking a little forward fold. And I'm gonna start to bend one leg and the other, coming side to side here. I'm still trying to keep that external rotation and not roll in on my arches. I'm still trying to use my booty to turn that leg out. Ooh, go as deep as feels good here. Get a side to side little flow. Feeling so good. And let's come over to this right side, a little bit of a bend. See if you can lift those arms off. Find a little bit of lightness, a little bit of expression. Beautiful, other side. So I'm not coming all the way down here, keeping a micro bend in this elbow, turning out from the hip, reach, flow those arms, stability through the lower body, fluidity through the upper body. And come to the center. Beautiful, dropping those hips to the center here, nice low goddess squat. Shifting my hips side to side. Beautiful. gonna walk my feet in a little bit closer, so I'm a little bit more in a malasana. I'm gonna bring my hands off. Beautiful, bringing them up. Finding a little Lakshmi lotus here. I'm gonna shift side to side. So really working our ankles here, coming from both ankles on the floor to, as I shift, lifting off, coming back through the center, side to side, working that control through the lower body to stay turned out and to move the ankles. Finding that length, that fluidity, that grace through the upper body. Work those booty. This is that active range of motion. Beautiful, coming to the center. Let's bring the hands into our Gayatri Mudra here. And we're going to start to circle the hips as we come up. Reaching those arms up. Doing a nice goddess hip circle here. So this is the challenge, to be stable enough to hold the squat, but free enough to circle the hips. Beautiful, come up. And let's drop back down. Taking a twist, right hand comes up. I'm gonna lift off the right ankle 5 times. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful, drop that heel down. I'm gonna shift over to that right side, extend out the left leg, coming into our deep side lunge. Take a little sip of water, join me in that if you need. Now, it's really important here that we don't roll in on our arches, that we're trying to keep the knee tracking over the foot and not collapsing inwards. So again, we're working that booty to try and press that knee outward. Breathe in here for 3, 2, 1. Beautiful, hands down, shifting forward. We're gonna bring that right knee in, pivoting it in, keeping the back toes tucked. I'm gonna walk my hands back behind, opening up into this nice stretch through the back here. It feels good. You can take that arm in a circle. Beautiful. I'm gonna come forward, come up. You can untuck that back toe if you'd like. We're going to work our flexibility and stability here. So I'm really square over this left leg here, I'm not too open. I'm going to come down into that flat back. Come up. So I want you to find some expressive arms here. Try to stay nice and strong through the lower body. I'm trying to not lock into this knee. I'm really trying to press through the knuckles of my toes here rather than hanging back here in my heels to keep this leg active. And I'm drawing up on my kneecap by engaging my quad so that I've got a nice bit of support here and I'm not just hanging out in this joint capsule, yeah? Finding that flat back, pulling my core in, squeezing my booty. Active upper back by squeezing the arms. I'm coming low enough that I can get that stretch. I'm feeling that stretch through the hamstring, but lifting myself out of it. Trying to keep that back nice and flat. We're trying to be flat as we come up rather than rolling up like that. Few more exploring this shape. Beautiful. Let's bring the hands down and back. I'm going to pivot now on this right leg again, lifting the leg up and transitioning into a pigeon here. It's a pretty chill pigeon. Like my leg is not very parallel. My shin's not too parallel to the top of my mat, so you can join me in that and whatever feels good. I am trying to square off my hips and not be too open to the side here. So if in squaring off your hips, you feel like that lifts your hip off the ground, get a pillow or a bolster or a folded up blanket to put under you to fill in the gap and bring the floor up to you. But if you don't need that, don't worry about it. We're gonna find our pigeon hovers here, coming down that flat back, squeezing always as we exhale to come up. I'm drawing my core in, squeezing my booty. Arms are floating off. And for 3, pressing this leg into the floor. As you come up, 2, maybe bring your arms forward. 1. Let's take a moment just to stretch and pigeon. Opening up the heart. Beautiful. Hands come forward. Right, bring this foot in, and I'm gonna pivot back. So it's a little bit funky, but we're pivoting back where we came from, but then I'm gonna lower down into this kind of single stag, right? This would be our double stag, extending this leg forward. If this feels uncomfy on your knee, just go ahead and come back to where we were before, okay? We're gonna do the same thing, but on the ground now. Stretching over that leg. Ooh, feels so good. I'm gonna stretch here for a moment. Feel that stretch. And then finding that flat back to lift up. Extending forward until you feel that stretch. Using the core, the back, and the booty to lift you up. Pointing through that left toe. It's that active flexibility. Coming down, no hands, being nice and active here. Ooh, feeling that stretch and that hover feels so good. Squeezing up. Let's do 2 more. Be expressive through the arms. Find this lightness through the arms. Beautiful. All right. From here, I'm going to shift my weight back to that left sits bone to lift this right leg up and around, seeing if I can use that hip mobility here to move that leg over to then bring me up into my side lunge. So let's play in that space a little bit, because this right here tends to be like the weakest point where we need to like press up or really like momentum ourselves up, but this is building with that strength and that end range. So going from here, coming forward, see if we can lift up just a few inches to hover and come back down nice and slow. No momentum, trying to really put the mind into the muscle of this right leg and booty to lift you up. Last time, forward, nice and slow. Ooh, and we keep it going as we pivot into a lunge. Nice, beautiful. So stretching back through our pyramid here. We're just gonna move from our pyramid into our lunge here. So stretching the straight legs and rippling forward to drop into a nice deep lunge. And pressing back. And I'm gonna lift up onto my toes as I ripple forward. Pressing back. Trying to find this like almost circular flow through these shapes rather than just like wah, 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 wah. Trying to like lift up, ripple, slinking back, straighten, up, ripple, finding that circular flow of energy as much as you can. Beautiful. Last time, keeping that front leg bent. We'll Once you get into the lunge, placing that left hand right underneath the shoulder, we're gonna pivot. I'm turning this right leg out to come into an overcross lunge here. It's nice and twisty. This leg is really turning out. From here, getting a little central, I'm gonna draw my hand up the body as I press my hips up, coming into a side lunge. Down. Sliding up. Really squeezing that right booty, strong through the left shoulder, get that side bend. One more. And up, plugging all the left fingertips into the floor. And down. Beautiful. From here, I'm gonna snake this right shoulder right up next to this right leg. See if I can bring that arm under to stretch it up here. So I've got this under and lift. And I'm just going to bend and straighten a few times. You can either stay up on your left arm like this or come down to your forearm. Stretch it back. And just feeling that queen energy here. Don't just again like wah wah. See if you can really like develop it up, lengthen and stretch. Trying to get that knee even closer, farther up towards your back. Stretch it up. Last one, holding it. I'm gonna press back up to this left arm here. Just holding this stretch here. Trying to press that leg back behind you as much as you can, almost like you get that shoulder underneath the knee. Sitting up nice and tall. Beautiful. I'm gonna move my water bottle for this next move. We're getting a little flowy here, so you can watch me to get the flow of it and then join in. So my left leg is straight. I'm gonna now lean forward, let go of the leg, sweep it back, bend, straighten. So I'm diving forward and pressing that leg back. And really working that active flexibility. See how far back I can press that leg, sweep it up, straighten, sweep, straighten, sweep, and up. Last time, sweep, and up. This time I'm gonna bring the leg back, and now I'm gonna sweep towards over my left shoulder. Come around onto my belly, placing my hands right underneath my shoulders by my rib cage. I'm gonna press this leg up and back as I press up on my arms. Nice and high here. I'm gonna do a few little push-ups, keeping this leg nice and high. Inhale down, and just squeeze that leg up. Let's go 3. Squeezing those elbows into your sides. 2. Keep that leg lifted nice and high. 1. Beautiful, step it forward. Low lunge, let's pivot and walk back to the center. Coming into that goddess squat. Bringing your hands to that Gayatri Mudra here. I'm gonna start with that nice low hip circle. Slowly bringing ourselves up a little bit higher. Reaching those arms up and switch that direction of your circle. Little baby circle for 3, 2, 1. Beautiful, hands back down to the earth. Left hand up to twist, lifting the left ankle off for 5, 4, 3, knees pressing out, 2, 1. Beautiful. Shifting over to that left side for our side lunge here. Finding your breath. Beautiful. Hands down, right? Come forward. Bringing that leg in. Turning it in all the way. Left hand goes back. Huge, juicy side back bend. So we're not totally to the back, not totally to the side. Breathe. You can circle that arm if that feels good. Before coming up. Oh my gosh, feeling the heat build, guys. Take that moment to breathe. Exhale. We're gonna find our flat back flows over this straight right leg. Again, engaging the quad to imagine pulling up on the kneecap, and I'm pointing through the foot, trying to press my toes, my knuckles here into the ground, and keeping that nice flat back, really hinging from the hips rather than rounding, yeah? Consciously activating your glutes. That's what's gonna help you here, engaging the leg as you stretch over it. I find that's most helpful to use the breath to support me, inhaling down, exhaling to give me that fire to lift up as I really engage everything. See if you can sync the breath with the movement. Beautiful. We're going to sweep the hands forward and around as I pivot on that knee to drop into that pigeon. Getting nice and comfy here. Before bringing the arms off, same thing. Inhale down, exhale, squeeze to lift. Inhale down, exhale, thinking about trying to press this leg into the floor to push me up. Exhale. Give yourself that power. Last one. Beautiful. We're going to pivot out the same way we came in. And this time you can either land here in our single stag, or if that's too much, come back here. Yeah? So finding our hovers, extending. I'm going to take a little moment just to stretch here. Let myself rest. Feels so good. Feeling the earth hold you, feeling the floor beneath you. Let your next exhale be this release, melting, surrendering to the earth. And lifting up, finding those expressive arms. Getting that stretch, flat back as you come up, really pulling the belly button into your spine. Where can you let this be a dance? Not only in finding some flow through the arms and upper body, but a dance with the breath. Syncing movement with the breath. Last time down. Beautiful. Let's come forward. Actually, no, we're gonna stay down. Shifting my weight to my right hip to lift that left leg up. Turn it out and plant. So you can try that a few times. Working some hip mobility. Here, we're gonna work coming down, from being down to lifting up a few inches. Feeling that shake lower down. Working in this end range space. See if you can feel that squeeze from underneath That lift from your inner thighs and your booty, lower back down. Oh, so hard. Then we're gonna try to lift up, pivot, come to parallel, come back down. Beautiful, moving back into our pyramid. We're finding that circular flow from the lunge, back and up. Pyramid, rippling forward, back and up. Finding your own timing, your own pacing as you explore these shapes. Lifting up, forward, down, and back. Last time. And when you come forward, go ahead and pivot all the way to where your right hip comes to the ground. So I'm on the outer blade of my back foot. This left leg is nice and turned out. Right hand down. I'm gonna draw this hand up the body. As I lift up. Inhale down. Looking behind you. Exhale, press up. Two more. Strength and softness. And down. Beautiful. From here, I'm going to sweep that left leg, or left arm under the left leg, trying to bring that left knee as close to my back, as shoulder as possible. Pressing up. Your choice if you want to stay nice and upright, or maybe you want to explore coming down to the forearm. Feel like that goddess that you are. You're just lounging. Extend. Trying to not sink too much through this right shoulder. I'm trying to stay lifted by pressing my elbow, my forearm into the floor. Really drawing that knee behind and as close to my shoulder as possible. Last time. Holding it straight, and if you're down on the floor, go ahead and press up so you're more upright, seated. And we're doing our flow. I'm coming forward, pressing it back, really working that active stretch, and coming up, and sweep it back. Trying to keep that leg off the floor. I'm really working my booty here. And up. And sweep. Up. Sweep. And up. This time I'm going to sweep it. I'm going to dive over the right shoulder, twisting my belly towards the floor. Beautiful. Hands by the rib cage. You're going to press up and back with that left leg. All right, 5 push-ups here, trying to get this left leg up as high as you can, trying to keep the shoulders away from the ears, especially as we lower down. 5, 4, keep that leg squeezing up, shoulders away from the ears, elbows hugging into the ribs. 2, 1. Beautiful. Go ahead and take a child's pose. Melting down for a moment. Melting your heart and your third eye to the floor. And find our breath moving down into the same place it was at the beginning of class. Breathing into the belly and the low back. Beautiful. Rolling up. Taking a quick water break, moment to reset. Beautiful. Hope you are feeling nice and juicy and warmed up. Bringing the hands forward to the tabletop, extending the right leg forward. I'm going to shift the hips back as I bring this leg up, sweep it back. Finding this juicy full body flow here. Really working my leg and hip mobility. I'm not bringing this leg to the floor at all. So I extend it forward, up and back. This time as I bring it up and back, I'm gonna lift that right arm up and bring it back to grab onto that foot. Coming into a half bow pose, stretching open. Being mindful to keep a little baby bend in that right elbow and not hyperextending like this, yeah? Shoulder away from the ear. From here, we're gonna move. We're really gonna test our balance. Moving from an upright half bow, which is where we are now, into a tilted side bow. So I'm trying to keep the same position and working my hip, core, and shoulder mobility to tip it back, coming into this variation, and then coming back up. So maybe for you, it's gonna be very small. This takes a lot of control and stability. Maybe you're not gonna go that far, that's fine. Playing with this. Beautiful. We're gonna sink back through the hips a little bit, bend this knee forward. And as I bring it forward, I'm flipping the grip. So my hand was on the inside of the arch, and now bring it to the outside blade to press up and lift up. So this is where, if you would like to use a block, I think I'm going to bring it under this hand here. We went from here, and you can practice this transition, coming forward with that leg. See how I let my hand kind of pivot around to the side. And then I'm pivoting on that knee a little bit to open up here. I'm trying to press my hips forward. Finding the breath here. For 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Bring this leg down. We're gonna cross it under or over top of that left leg to come into our Gomukhasana here. So I'm gonna lower down. My right leg is stacked over my left. Take a moment to breathe here, grounding my sits bones back to the floor. Sitting up nice and tall. Taking a moment to inhale, think of your pelvic floor moving down towards the earth, expanding with the belly. Exhale. Drawing up. One more, expanding your energy downward. Exhale up. You can stay here or shift forward, bring the knees to the ground, and bring your hips up as high as you can. So you might be more here, maybe you're here. You're gonna feel that stretch through the outside of your hips. Bringing the arms up, I'm gonna cross them overhead. Finding this balance here, maybe even closing the eyes. If you've got the block on the floor, you can reach that left hand down to it for a little side bend through that right side. Beautiful, and coming down. Uncrossing that right leg, we're gonna bring it back behind and coming into a very small double stag. Rather than the legs being out, I'm gonna be kind of arching the foot to the right knee. I'm really tucking my right foot close to my booty here. I'm gonna press up into a kind of funky double stag camel here. And coming down. Pressing up. And circling down. Pressing up. And coming down. Last time, pressing up. Arch it back. Coming down. Beautiful. From here, I'm gonna dive down, chest to the floor, and I'm gonna kick this right leg back up. I'm gonna see if I can reach my left hand back for that foot here. We're doing a very funky back bend here. I'm gonna try and grab that right leg for my left foot. Doing a little twisted, like a twisted bow almost. And I'm trying to wing my feet and not let them sickle in like this. I'm trying to wing out with both of them, yeah? So just see how this feels. It's kind of just a funky little thing to explore. Maybe you're more on the side like this, hitting this shape. Maybe you're trying to pivot a little bit more to your chest towards the floor, pressing up. Maybe for you, just reaching back for this leg is enough, yeah? So just take this opportunity to get a little creative. Play with your back bend here. Keep those ankles and feet winged. Beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna release the legs. I'm gonna come back into that double stag, sweeping the left arm around and pressing up. All right, a little funky back bend here. Let's sweep around to come to the other side. So tabletop, lifting that leg off, find that big juicy sweep. Bring it forward. Lifting the heart. Making it that dance. This time you come up and back, lift that left leg up and back for the inside of the foot. Pressing up for our bow pose. Little bend through the elbow, shoulder drawing away from the ear. Pressing the foot into the hand to lift up. Now finding that flow between our tilted, which is where I'm letting the leg come more parallel to the floor, and then lifting up. Or I guess I should say like this thigh coming kind of more parallel, like a tipped over, a tilted bow, and then coming back up. They can be small. We're working that ability to move through different planes, being this way, and kind of tilting over, coming to a different plane, different level plane. Beautiful. Finding that transition, drawing that leg forward, letting that hand come to the outer edge of the foot, lifting up that right foot just enough that I can pivot on that right knee, stretch it open. Gonna bring that block. You're more than welcome to, or if you don't want one, no worries. Stretching up. Try to press those hips forward. Breathing, find your breath. Bring that foot down, crossing it over top, and then sinking the booty down in between the feet. Find your Gomukhasana here. Grounding your sits bones to the floor, so don't be too forward that your hips are off. Really let your hips anchor down for a moment. Breathing energy down and out into the earth. And in and up with the exhale. Down and out. In and up. If this is feeling good for you, stay here. If you'd like to come forward to the knees, to press the hips up, please do. Bringing the arms up. Maybe closing the eyes. I'm gonna reach down for this block and find a little side bend stretch here. Reaching that left arm over. Come on down. Beautiful. Uncross the legs, coming into our little baby double stag here and pressing up. And pressing down. I'm thinking of my tailbone being the first thing to lift off the floor, rippling me up. And the last thing to come down. Beautiful, last one. Pressing up. And coming down. Beautiful, turning towards the floor. Bring this left arm down, bring the left arm up, and trying to reach back with the right hand. Yeah, so maybe this is good enough for you. From there, if you want to lift that, what leg are we? Right leg, left hand up, coming with this twisted bow pose here. I'm trying to avoid sickling through my feet. I'm trying to think of using my booty to lift up my legs, especially this left one here. Maybe you want to be more tilted on the side here. Maybe you're wanting to try and lift this leg up in a little bit more of an arch. And gently release. Back to our double stag, bringing this right arm out. Beautiful, y'all. Let's come on down onto our backs. Taking a little gentle happy baby here, little happy baby variation, drawing the knees out to the side and up towards the shoulders. Inhale your breath all the way down to your pelvic floor. Exhale, soften down to the floor. Let's take happy baby now. Inhale your breath down, past the lower rib cage into the belly, into the pelvic floor. Exhale, relax the body. Beautiful. Bringing the legs in, let's rock back. And rock up. And cross the legs, bring them behind us. I'm going to tuck the toes and walk my hands and hips back here. Come for a little toe stretch. So maybe this is too much for you, and if that's the case, to have all your weight back on your toes, you can always sit on a block. I'm gonna do that, so I'm still getting this toe stretch, but it's not like all my full body weight in my toes. That's feeling really nice. Sitting up nice and tall, and I want you to imagine flipping your palms to face up, that you could draw in energy from the soles of your feet and the palms of your hands. Drawing energy in as you inhale through these places and exhale. If you think about it, these places are sort of really important energetic boundary points of our body. These are places where we really interact with the world, either touching things with our hands, or our soles of the feet are what connect us to the earth as we're walking and moving. These are important important boundary entry points of our energy. So I want you to take a moment here and visualize that there are these balls of light in the palms of your hands and the soles of your feet. And as you're breathing through them, you're kind of cleansing. You're creating this really pure and strong energy field that only allows in energy that really aligns with you and your highest good, and kind of clearing out, pushing away, releasing, letting go of any old stagnant energy, any emotions that aren't yours to carry, any ways that you felt impacted by other people or outside experiences. Inhale in, receiving the abundance, the blessings, the people, places, and experiences that align with your highest good. Exhaling, letting go of heaviness, stagnant energy, things that are maybe from the past that are keeping you from fully being here in the present. Inhaling, I receive. Exhaling, I let go. 2 more. Beautiful, hands coming down. I'm going to remove that block, release the legs. I'm going to give them a gentle tap on the floor, just kind of relaxing them and coming to sit. Face you guys. We're going to move into one last little just movement meditation. So it's up to you if you want your legs more out or in. Just find what feels comfortable for you. I'm going to move through a little bit of a flow here. So I'm going to, let's see, what is the flow? Coming up and over. Up. Drawing the hand down the face. So whatever way you are leaning, that is the arm that's gonna come up and turn down, and brush down the face. Finding this soft flow here. Closing your eyes. Tuning in to your soft, feminine nature, your creative flow. Beautiful. Come to the center. Now we're going to take a little mudra here. So I've got my hands like this down here in my womb space, and I'm going to just lightly bring the hips off the floor and find a little bit of a circle through my pelvis here. Slowly drawing the hands up the body, and then reaching them up to the sky. And then just reversing the circle of the hips, going the other way as you bring them back down. To the pelvis. One more time, reversing the circle. Drawing up the body and really use my core. They can be small circles too. Open up. And reversing the circle as the arms come down. Beautiful. Melt the hands forward, nice, juicy child's pose once again. Rolling up. Shifting onto your booty to roll back down to the floor. Letting my hands and legs come down to the floor. I'm going to rock my hips side to side. Letting my legs do this kind of little gentle windshield wiper. And then I'm going to point and release my feet. So I'm using my feet to kind of shake my body here. Find this little bounce. I'm letting my head, my arms, everything be really limp and kind of surrender into this like bounce. The nervous system really likes this kind of movement. It's like this rock that resets our body. So letting yourself be bounced here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Dropping into stillness. Beautiful. We're going to keep the eyes closed. Imagine yourself once again inhaling in through the palms of the hands and the soles of the feet. Drawing energy, prana, life source in through these places, drawing into the center, into the heart. And exhale out and down, out through the limbs, out through the hands and the feet. And just envisioning this flow of energy. Tuning in, is there a certain color of energy that you imagine your own aura, or is there a certain color that you feel you're embodying right now? Imagine that is that light, that energy that's flowing in and out, washing like waves over your body. Continue envisioning that wave-like flow of prana into the center of your heart and out. Letting yourself surrender to be held by the earth and by gravity. You don't even need to do anything. You can let go and you are going to be held. Softening the jaw, the brow, maybe even snuggling those shoulder blades underneath to find a little bit more openness through the heart. Bringing your hands into your pelvis, to your lower belly, just to gently rest right where your sacral chakra is. Just feeling the warmth of your palms on this part of your body. And bringing your hands to your heart space and feeling the warmth of your hands on this part of your body, letting it soften. Beautiful. Begin to wiggle the fingers and toes, circling the wrists and ankles, maybe taking a stretch overhead. Exhale, drawing the knees into the chest, giving yourself a little hug and a gentle rock, massaging out the low back. Rolling to one side to gently press yourself up. Beautiful. Grounding the sits bones and the hips down as we lengthen through the spine, floating the arms up. Uniting the wrists, letting the fingers be out, extended like a lotus, drawing that down to the heart. Bowing to yourself, bowing to your body, thanking yourself for being here on the mat to do this practice. Thank you for joining me. Fingers unite. Namaste. Thank you for joining me, my friends. Go drink a lot of water. Now would be the perfect time to dance. I'm about to go get on my pole and do some floating, so hopefully you're feeling nice and juicy and awakened and in that flow state to maybe pour into some creative energy in your day, whatever that looks like. If you like this video, please like it, subscribe to the channel. If you'd like more dance content, yoga for dancers. I'm on that yoga high right now. What are words? But if you vibed with this, if you want to connect, you can find me on Instagram. I would love to connect if you need any support in your practice and your dance journey. Until then, have a beautiful day. Mwah.